Hey Ryan, how are you?
Hi, Chagdash.
I haven't started the webinar yet. I mean, we are like in the practice session mode. So in like 2-3 minutes, I will just start the webinar just in case.
Okay. And so is everyone else coming?
Yes, they are joining us, shortly, and I'm hoping that it will be, good webinar.
I hope so. I believe it is. It will be.
And how are things going in Brazil?
Everything is fine. I'm a little bit concerned about the rise of the case for COVID, but it was expected already. But it's never funny to see like 800, 1,000 people dying every day. Things were settling down, but now, are going up again, and this is really not fun. But yeah, besides that, everything is great.
And your child, is everything okay?
Yeah, he's doing really well, man. Growing too fast, faster than I expected, and faster than I would like.
And Ryan, time passes really quick. I still remember like my daughter, she was a baby. She's now, almost 9 years old. And I'm just looking at the old photos. I'm like, it was just like yesterday. Like she was so small. Now, like she's kind of a grown up girl.
Isn't it? And I think, I already miss when he was a very, very little baby. So I think I'm gonna miss all these steps that he's going forward, But it's also really nice to see the development of the child. This is actually impressive. It's impressive how they learn, how, this is amazing, just amazing. That there's no other word to describe that.
Definitely.
So you have only one?
I have only one daughter.
Okay, this is good. I hope one day maybe we'll try a second one, and I hope it's a girl.
Ryan, by the way, do you suggest I kind of start the webinar to allow participants to join, or just wait for maybe 1 more minute? What do you think?
I think we should wait. Let's see. Did you talk to Claire? Because
yes, she also kind of sent me a message saying that like perfect, everything is set. See you at 10 a.m. So just in case, I gave her my phone number as well. I'm just checking the emails, but I think she's okay based on her last email.
Okay. So yeah, they should join soon. I mean, the guys from Inside also, they confirmed,
yes,
right?
Even Ayça kind of gave me a call a few minutes ago, and she said like she's also prepared and she will join close to 10 a.m.
Okay, that sounds good, man. So yeah, it's 2 to 12. So I think we should wait a little bit and see if they join us. And what about Canada? I saw some speeches, or let's say some talks from the Toronto mayor. I forgot his name.
John Tory, and the cases
Tory.
started increasing
Yeah,
really
Tory.
rapidly, Ryan. I'm also surprised because it was like 80, 100 cases per day. Now it's like close to 2,000 cases per day. How did it, start spreading so fast? It's really interesting. And also, the weather is not that good here, so people are not like outside. Maybe I'm thinking they kind of gather at homes, and as you might imagine, when one person is sick, they spread out very fast. I think maybe that's the reason people are having some kind of parties, gatherings, and they become like super spreaders.
Yes, that's for sure. And the weather contributes a lot because the virus can survive longer on the surfaces in the cold, right? But nevertheless, what I saw about Mayor Tory is the actions that they took in Toronto to digitalize the small business. And I don't know if it worked well, but I think the way of thinking, it was really good. I mean, they recruited like an army of students, like young people, to help to create the e-commerces and the web stores. It was
Ryan,
really
it's
nice.
helping in a certain way, but the problem is that it's always that dilemma. They are trying to help the businesses to survive, but on the other hand, businesses get a lot of federal support. What happens is that, as you might imagine, as a company, maybe I'm getting support from the government. I'm not putting effort on the other things like, oh, I'm getting free money, etc.
I see, right. So you're
they are
kind of
like,
getting the comfort
yes,
zone.
they are not putting, that much focus. They're, like, oh, let's use this free money as much as we can, and then we can, look up the other things.
I see. Yeah, this is human nature somehow.
By the way,
Right.
Ryan, I will just start the webinar session for one thing. If attendees
Cool.
are waiting, then they can start joining.
Yeah, it's 12 p.m.
And I already see some guests joining. Welcome, dear guests. We are going to start shortly. We are waiting for our panelists. Ayça, welcome.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you well.
Yes.
Good.
I see some of our guests already joining. Dear guests, welcome to our webinar. We are going to start shortly. We are waiting for our panel speaker, Jim. He is joining us very shortly, so thanks for your patience. Meanwhile. It's always, challenging while waiting for a panelist. You cannot come up with the topic to speak, but we were just chatting with Ryan. I hope, Ayça, everything is going well in Turkey. I hope, you are keeping healthy.
Well, we're trying to do our best, actually. This situation is not very promising nowadays, but we're, doing our best. I think we believe the good days are, coming closer after the vaccine and everything. So fingers crossed.
Definitely. And meanwhile, Jim is going to join us shortly. Sorry to keep you waiting. Dear guests, welcome one more time. We will kind of need maybe just 2 minutes for our final speaker to join. I also see some colleagues joining from Hungary. Greetings to Hungary as well.
So from New York and Canada. I see it's going to be a global webinar.
Definitely, we are kind of, reaching different parts of the world.
This is really nice. I'm from Brazil.
So what is the hottest lipstick color this year? Wow, that's a challenging question. Red always, but depends on what you like.
Green is a trend in Brazil actually right now for lipsticks and hair color.
Well, actually, we've freed all the colors, all the fixed textures and everything. So really, like, the options are endless now.
Dear guests, once again, welcome. As mentioned, we will kind of need maybe 2 minutes of your time for the speakers.
Hey, Leah, I see. You agree with me, green, right? And yeah, Santa Catarina is an awesome place.
And also we are waiting for Claire as well from Paris to join us. Actually, Claire is also joining. And let me just... Claire, can you hear us? I think you are on mute right now. Yes, we have her right now. Claire, welcome. How are you?
Yes, I'm fine, thank you. Happy to join. I'm sorry, but probably I had the wrong link to join and I just can't hear you.
No problem. Welcome.
Thank you so much.
While we are awaiting, how are things going in France?
Sorry.
How are things going in France?
Oh, things are going like everywhere, I would say. So 50-50. I mean, we are currently have kind of lockdown, but it's a mid lockdown between freedom and lockdown. So which is very profitable for online business, of course. So this is an incredible year, this year 2020.
It's going to be kind of an interesting year. We will just talk with details. As I see, like we have attendees joining. Dear guests, thanks again for your patience. Jim is going to join us shortly. Sorry about this technical glitch. And once he joins, we are going to start the webinar. And just as we are kind of waiting, maybe as kind of taking the advantage of being the moderator, I would like to say greetings to everyone from a kind of a calm and beautiful Toronto morning. My name is Chadish from OpSense Digital, and I'll be your moderator today. Don't worry, I will not talk too much. I have like distinguished guests today, and they are going to be talking more, hopefully. Today, we want to take you to a journey in the global beauty industry, actually that generates over $500 billion in sales a year. And this industry kind of accounts for millions of jobs, directly and indirectly. When we kind of analyze the beauty industry, I must comment that it's a resilient industry for one reason, especially during the challenging times. For instance, the 2008 financial crisis, the industry had a huge impact. But in a short span of time, like in a 1 year time, early 2010, it kind of bounced back to the previous results. And this industry, according to the McKinsey report, by 2025, it's going to be close to $717 billion in sales. So we are talking about a huge industry. Even before this COVID and the pandemic situation that we will discuss shortly, this industry was kind of under a lot of pressure, especially in terms of the product innovation, the speed, etc. And now the need for especially the speed, innovation, growth strategies are even greater. Therefore, our panelists are from all over the world. They will kind of shed a light on this industry and share their forecast for this upcoming year. And without further ado, I want to introduce them to you. And Jim and Ryan, if you don't mind, ladies are always first. So I will start with Ayça. Ayça, she is the CMO of Sephora Turkey, and she is joining us from the beautiful city of Istanbul. Ayça, welcome. Hoş geldin.
Thank you, hoş bulduk, and hello everyone. Thanks for everyone who joined us today, and hello to the really great panelists over there.
Thank you very much. We have Claire from Paris, lovely city of Paris. Bonjour, Claire.
Bonjour, hi everyone. I'm happy to join. Very honored to be a part of this webinar. Thank you.
Claire is the general manager of feelunique.com, France. And
yes, France.
We have Jim Kepke. Jim is joining us from our neighbor country, US, and he is in the beautiful city of Indianapolis. Good morning, Jim.
Good morning. Good morning. Sorry for my technical difficulties, everybody, in delaying our conversation for a few minutes, but I'm excited to be here.
Welcome one more time. And finally, we have Ryan Godoy from another beautiful city of Sao Paulo. Bom dia, Ryan.
Bom dia. Hello, everyone. I'm really glad to participate in here and hoping to have a very interesting talk to you guys.
As kind of maybe a housekeeping note, dear guests, if you have any questions, please feel free to write on the chat forum and the Q&A. I will be reviewing it regularly and just ask the questions at the relevant times to our guests. And again, ladies are always first. And I want to start with Ayça. And I know that this year has been kind of challenging for everyone. And how did Sephora Turkey adjust to this new normal period?
Well, thank you, Çağdaş. Let me start by sharing some insight on Sephora experience before COVID. And then I will try to highlight the transformation, the omni transformation during this pandemic period. So we have always been proud of the playful and disruptive in-store experience at Sephora, and we relied on this amazing experience to drive sales once all the other fundamentals are in place. With continuous researches and insights collected from our teams and customers, we know that product purchases aren't the only reason consumers come to our physical stores. Rather, it's often the amazing experience before buying that drives the conversions. I'm talking about the animations with different themes and concepts fed by the brands, amazing brands, products, new trends, the expertise we provide through our beauty advisors like makeup and skincare consultations. And of course, our partnerships with brands, their unique propositions, activations in our stores to our customers. And all this is called Only at Sephora experience, the experience which is so much empowered by touching, feeling, trying, and exploring. So unfortunately, like many other industries, our industry, the beauty industry, has been hugely affected by the coronavirus pandemic. We've gone through a lot in a very short period of time. We had to suspend in-store treatments and services. Then we had to shut down the retail stores entirely, like many other retailers and brands. And then we had to plan the reopenings very fast. And then putting additional measures to keep our teams and customers safe and healthy, all very fast, all very bold moves. So now, of course, health and safety is our number one priority. But then as the leader of the beauty industry and beauty retail, we started to think about how to support the beauty community, how to keep them engaged with the brands, with our brand, and help them stay positive, and how to address their changing needs and requests. Needs mostly started around well-being, self-care, but now it's time to, of course, adapt the business into new normal. So our key concern was how to redesign the journey and how to quickly reimagine the services and all the engagements we had with our customers. So starting the outbreak, we've been searching for ways to maintain the in-person customer engagement. And with the help of the digital technologies, Sephora Turkey has very quickly transferred in-store consultations into virtual consultations. Actually, we were one of the first countries to launch online consultation services. And our customers loved it, responded very positively. And we trained our in-store BAs to provide this strong virtual consultation service, a quality conversation with our customers as of April. So it was very quick. So beside these virtual consultations, we look towards for augmented reality solutions to improve the online experience. Because now it's basically, the question is how to enable our customers to better virtually try on the products. As safety and hygiene concerns have increased, it became very crucial to accelerate the services in online, of course, with also personalized and customized scenarios as well. Of course, social media is a huge support. We used our social media channels. We increased our online tutorials. We designed live brand and product sessions, improved the content on the educational side with how-tos. And all the objective, the main objective was to keep the brand engaged with our customers. So we talked about the trends just emerged with COVID, like natural beauty, clean beauty, vegan products, and the historical high trust brands and their products. We talked about sustainability, consciousness, and in the meantime, we launched our Sephora blog, where all these new content and information on the latest trends were there. And it was a really strong channel. It is a very strong channel for our beauty community to easily follow all these innovations. So on top, having these services and these like quick implementations around, the demand for online channel has extremely increased. We focused on integrating e-commerce operations with the rest of the value chain. Our aim was to quickly react to the new normal and to the new and existing customer demand. Increase the conversion is a big challenge, still a big challenge, and adapt existing offerings, introduce new products, especially in online channel, and implement data and segment strategies and act on these very fast. So on the growing part, we increased on the operational side, we increased our stock levels, we reviewed our logistics operations and warehouse operations, and we tracked, of course, the customer satisfaction levels while we were, doubling our e-commerce sales to start. And to complete the digital presence, we launched our mobile app in October. Again, a very fast move to provide a flawless and exciting beauty experience in mobile too. So once all the fundamentals are in place right now, our main concern is and will be to provide the best online beauty experience in an omnichannel way. So we're working on faster and delightful delivery features now. They're soon to be launched. We want to offer convenience services to our customers with the projects like Click and Collect, WhatsApp and Collect, and of course, trying new, especially in beauty, in cosmetics, is a challenge in online. So we're testing different projects to encourage our customers for their online purchases in new products. We implemented Try Me project, for example, in this respect. When customers buy a new perfume from online, we send them the tester of the same product with the purchase. In this way, we provide the opportunity to test the perfume they ordered before opening the original one. So we have to work on all these innovations to really provide a more smooth, flawless online and then omni experience. The pandemic has increased the focus on digital, and it is expected that e-commerce platforms will maintain their positions after the COVID. So putting digital transformation on top of the business priorities, we are looking for more innovations and actions to help e-commerce fulfill its potential, to support brick and mortar sales, and of course, to also have a better and agile online operation. In the end, I believe COVID really acted as a catalyst and play a very key role to boost online sales since day one. So the priority for us now as Sephora to adapt our businesses to this new normal, do it very fast and delight the customer with the Only at Sephora experience, but this time in an omni-channel way. So this is pretty much how we're dealing with the situation right now.
It seems like kind of an interesting journey, and I will kind of refer the same question to Claire. Claire, from your point of view, how did the feelunique.com adjust to this new normal period?
Our position is very different from the position of Aisha. Of course, Feelunique is a pure player. So we used to do our 100% of our business online. So we do not have all this retail part because I don't know if the figures in France are beauty, luxury, e-commerce purchases are weighting around 7% compared to 93% for retail store. So we are very late compared to the UK, for example, which were before the COVID crisis around 17% and US probably 25%. So France is very, very late on this point. And the fact is French people, French customers, and most of the time French women, sorry for this, but in beauty purchases are most of the time women, because women are also purchasing for their men. That's the way it works. And then they like to shop in store, and they still like to, especially in beauty. So for Feelunique, it was already our core business, and we dedicated all the team and all the brain of the companies are 100% dedicated to e-commerce. So we did not have this issue between retail and e-commerce and action. So what was wonderful for us as this crisis is absolutely hopeful for a lot of people and from everywhere in the world. But in the case of an e-commerce company, it was a great acceleration, incredible. Then if I had a dream before this period, I can't dream so incredible figures and improvements. So what we did, the main point, I think, is we focused on new customers, because on this French market, it's so hard to gain new customers, and it is so expensive for an e-commerce company, as our marketing budget is only 100% dedicated to new customer acquisition. And this time, as the online was the only way to purchase product, we saw an incredible number of new customers came. So this is the main point where we focus on. The second is the AOV, because the AOV increased a lot. I mean, because of the average value of the product, and also because of the number of products in the basket. And then we also improve the traffic boomed as well. Yeah. So all the KPIs of e-commerce have a green light. AOV, new customers, traffic, conversion, everything, because 93% of the market was down. So, the action we did were mostly about our marketing budget. I mean, our spend, to be sure that each euro spent was properly spent with these new rules. So probably spend less on some levers that are very expensive to gain new customers, as it was more easy to gain them at this time. And probably we did a lot of things to gain, to improve our visibility compared to Sephora, because Sephora is very, very huge in France. I think the brand have 100% or 99.9% of awareness with French customers. There is Sephora everywhere. So Feel Unique is a challenger with a small visibility, but more younger, with an image which is probably more younger and different than Sephora because of the UK roots of the company. So it's horrible to say, but we surf on this awful crisis.
Hopefully, actually, this year has been almost challenging, not for the market leaders, for the challenging brands as well. And for our guests, as you might imagine, demands for internet operations have increased. We are now talking about mobile app, convenience services, e-commerce focused, conversion, new traffic, and that kind of brings us towards the omnichannel. So at this point, I want to just ask one question to Jim. Jim, what is the importance of this omnichannel experience orchestration? Because obviously this digital transformation is going at a really quick way.
Yeah, absolutely, Chadash. Thanks for the question. And Aicha and Claire, thank you for your insight. It's really fun to listen and learn as to how you as brands and marketers are attacking these challenges. You know, in my career, which is getting close to 15 years in digital marketing, the goal's always been to personalize. I'm on the vendor side. I've always been on the vendor side. And, you know, we've been having conversations forever about being relevant and timely, right channel, right time. Certainly the channels have grown. Where we can touch and connect with our consumers has increased. How we use those channels and the access to data that we have as marketing organizations today is incredible compared to where it was even 2 years ago. We're actually now using data to create more data through machine learning and artificial intelligence. And I think through my lens, I've seen brands do really, really fantastic work to break down internal functional silos, channel silos, data silos. But the reality is omnichannel is difficult, right? We don't necessarily know where he or she is going to touch our brand next. We don't necessarily know exactly what they're looking for when they come to the website or when they touch us in the mobile app. We can make inferences based upon those data points, and the best of us are taking those inferences and feeding them into campaigns from segmentation and personalization, from a segmentation and personalization perspective. I think in large part, journeys today are the norm. It's how we as marketers or as vendors or brands, it's how we think about connecting with our customers. It's not an individual touch point anymore. It's a series of touch points along a consideration journey or a purchase journey or a service journey. And to that end, experience orchestration, at least the way that I think about it and the way Insider thinks about it, is the new evolution or the next evolution of multi-channel, which I think most brands do a pretty good job of today. It's even the next step from omnichannel. Omnichannel in many ways is a digital mindset of syncing together all of these channels that we touch, but experience orchestration is even bigger than that, because it's about that retail experience or that customer service experience at the same time. So, I think that in many ways, as we've just been talking about, the world has changed, and it forced us as vendors and as brands to really accelerate the plans that we had in place, which, for someone that's been in this industry for 15 years has been really exciting. But as humans, we really wish that there was another reason why we're pushed in this direction so quickly. I think overall it's cliche to say that we're focused on, or the importance of omnichannel experience orchestration is because what our customer expects. To me, everyone here and anyone listening, we are progressive and aggressive marketers that want to connect with our customers in more human ways through all digital channels. And the reason why it's important is because we want to be successful. We want to create these wonderful and unique experiences. And the brands that get there first, the vendors like Insider or others that build the bridge to make true omnichannel experience orchestration possible, are the brands and vendors that are going to win. And because we're aggressive, we want to be those individuals. We're competitive, and now we at least have a platform to stand on internally to say, "See, I told you so." In many instances, and it's nice to have that wind in our sails, so to speak. Again, even if it's for the absolute wrong reason.
As Jim, you kind of mentioned about series of touch point and even creating kind of a seamless experience. I would like to ask Ryan another interesting question. In fact, in maybe mid-2019 or towards the end of 2019, augmented reality shopping solutions, they were treated as kind of a nice to have or PR-related, products. But suddenly, they kind of became essential, as our guest also mentioned. Do you think, Ryan, this year was the year for the rise of the AR shopping solutions? By the way, you are on mute.
Sorry about that. Yeah. So yeah, that's definitely that's for sure. So 2020 has extremely accelerated the adoption of augmented reality as a shopping tool. We had customers that we were discussing since the mid of 2019 to implement this kind of solutions, especially in their e-commerces. And these discussions were ongoing for like 6-7 months. And the plan to make the integration and the implementation was like for 6 or 7 months. And we had to do that in only 4 to 6 weeks, which was incredible. And besides of all these other companies that we were already talking with, we had a surge in the number of other customers wanting this kind of solution. So many of them were when the lockdowns came, everyone was kind of desperate. What can we do? And they were trying to shield their business against the lockdowns and implementing the augmented reality. Like Jim and Aisha was mentioning, the omnichannel and the migration from the in-store to the e-commerce was a huge factor for this. So what we saw was that our customers, they were trying to enhance the customer experience in all the channels they had. So first, there was a migration from the in-store to the e-commerce. So they were trying to somehow deliver the same experience for the try-on of the products in the e-commerce. But when the stores were opening again and they saw a flow of consumers back to the stores, they had a new policy, which was the touchless policy for the in-store. And they were also adapting the same augmented reality that they were using in the e-commerce to the e-store, where the consumer could go to the store and try on the products without touching them. So yeah, that's for sure. 2020 was a year for acceleration of this kind of technology, but we still believe that there are a lot of enhancements, improvements in the quality of the experience and in the technology adoption yet to come. But also talking about the omnichannel, like Jim was mentioning, the experience orchestration among the channels. This is fundamental for these times. So what the brands that we are working with now, they want to do is they want to deliver the same experience to the consumer through all the channels they can. And what augmented shopping is doing now is not only allowing this experience to be the same or somehow the same through all the channels, but it's coming as an alternative to open new channels. For instance, with augmented shopping, you could let users virtually try on your products in the elevator or at the back seat of the Uber. Imagine you're riding with the Uber, you have a screen, you can try on the products in there, and with a QR code, you can scan and continue your journey on your way. So we are also creating new touch points for the consumers. And this, but you know, it was in the plan, but now everything has extremely accelerated. That's for sure.
At this point, Claire, I have another question to you. Do you think augmented reality shopping is a must for beauty and cosmetic brands?
Yes, of course. To explain my purpose, I have to say, but it's the same for Sephora. Beauty luxury product is working slightly differently from others. I mean, most of the time, the first businesses online, when a customer needs something, most of the time it's for convenience reason. So normally there is two reasons to purchase online. It's convenient first, and it's cheaper, the price. So, and if it's convenient and cheaper, it's great. And the best example I have is Amazon. It's crazy convenient. You have all the products you want to purchase everywhere in the world, and you can click to purchase and receive your order the same day. So absolutely convenient. But for beauty, luxury product, it's quite different. I mean, convenience is not enough. We are talking about beauty, about luxury, and the sense of this product, that the main essence of this is to make a woman or a man more beautiful. So it doesn't work in the same way. I mean, it's not a shower gel, it's something for the makeup or a skincare product, a cream, a serum. So the way you are choosing this product are very different. So there is two kinds of purchase in beauty. The first one is you are very loyal to your product. You are purchasing your black mascara each month, your serum or your skincare cream each 3 months, and you're most of the time loyal to it or to your fragrance that you love and you purchase twice a year. But all the other purchases are just because you love the product, you want to test it, you want to try it, you want to purchase a new product. I was very surprised at Feel Unique results to see how much new product, new brand were purchased by our customers online. It's crazy to see as they just want to test new product because beauty market is driven mainly by the newest. So as you know, you have so much product to create each year. It's crazy. So the thing is, in retail store, that's why a lot of people go in retail store, because you can test product, you can smell them, you can try them on the skin. It's the case, of course, on makeup, which is a category which is suffering a lot in business since 1.5 years or 2 years, and fragrance. It's still very difficult to smell a new fragrance through your computer. So that's why I think augmented reality, yes, is very useful for beauty business, but probably it's the first stone of something we have to create and to build to give really much more to this customer, because at the minute we are talking, it still there is still a lot of advantages to purchase in retail because of the sense, I mean, smelling, you're seeing the product and everything. So we keep advantages, but in the meantime, with this crisis, people realized that clean hygiene have really a big is really important. And then I think they can't come back in Sephora, for example, or all the others and see the incredible makeup presentation with the product tester. Then you can put your finger in. It's not possible anymore. So, of course, we have other things that can help. And you said it, Instagram, for example, since 3 years, all the for makeup brands, for example, we are using some swatch. You know, you are putting all the colors on your arm, and this gives to people a good way to make the difference between colors. Because in the reality, augmented reality we are talking about, and as beauty luxury is really precise, it's still very difficult to have an idea of the color, because the color you have on the product picture, on the website is different from the color you will have, which is different from the color of my computer, which is different from the color of my iPhone. So it's still difficult to solve this issue. When I'm listening about the Try Me, it's funny because Feel Unique set up the Try Me 4 years ago, and of course we are sending a sample with the product, and then the customer can receive the new fragrance and then just use the sample. And if the customer like the scent, then they can open the real product. And if they don't, they can send back the product and be refunded. So it was a way to give the customer experience in store, but at home for e-commerce purchasers. What we also did on Feel Unique, we set up a new service which named Pick and Mix. So I love this one. It's a kind of second shop we have on the site, but you are not shopping full-size product, you are shopping samples. So the idea is to offer to customers as much as sample as possible. And then, for example, if you want to purchase a lipstick, a foundation, or you can order on the site, but I think it's €5, around €5, and then you get 5 samples with 5 different foundation color to your home, and then you can test them at home in your own environment. And then when you find the good color, you can click on the site, order the product, and the €5 you spend will be refunded to you. So, and in this case, it's a better experience than what you can offer in store, because I have a lot of my customers which said, Well, I went in the store, I tried a foundation on my hand because I had my makeup and I don't want to remove the makeup because I had to go back to work after that. So I tested on my hand. My hand is not the same color of my face. In the meantime, we have the light of the store, which is different from my normal light in my bathroom at home. And then I was sure to buy the right color of foundation for me. And when I come back home in my own bathroom with my normal light in my bathroom, it was too yellow or too pink or too brown. So this experience we can offer to people at home is sometimes better than the one you can have in store. And then it is a very plus. So if online can offer not only the same, but if online can offer a better experience. I had the case also with the samples with fragrances. The woman told us that in store, they are putting a fragrance here and one here and another here and another here. And it smells fragrance everywhere in the store. So they can't remember what is their favorite. But if they order a pick and mix sample with 5, they can test Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, ask their children, husband, friends what they are thinking about this one or this one, and then take their time to choose. So I think there is a big work to do, and augmented reality is the first step, the first stone on this, but we need to build the house.
Definitely.
And about the samples, which seems to be a good option, just to finish on this point, the only issue we have is it's absolutely different from the brand strategy on samples. And since 5 years, I'm saying them, please samples every product, but it's not. From today, what they are doing 10 million samples of the new product they will launch this year, when I need 100 units of each product they have in their collection. So strategies are different. So we need to talk together and to find together solution. I mean, we can't have only retailer like Sephora or brand in the other side to find their own option solution to this. We need to discuss together and to find what is the real best solution and in the real benefit of the customer, which we are all thinking all the time, customer, but finally we are thinking this 5 minutes in the morning and then we forget this all the day. So we just need to be in our head all the time a customer and ask if I will be satisfied with this option all the time as a customer.
As Claire, you mentioned augmented reality shopping is actually maybe the initial step in the long journey of experiences and this omnichannel experience. At this point, as we are kind of starting a new year, I have a question to Ayça. Another new year is coming. You mentioned about the mobile app. You kind of touched base on omnichannel and augmented shopping as well. I will also elaborate some of our guests' questions along the way. But what is next for Sephora Turkey? And to elaborate more, we have a question like, are you planning of adding some QR codes to the packaging, do some tactile marketing, scent-based marketing, and also, are you going to be using different channels, namely like WhatsApp and others for 2021?
Well, thank you for the questions. And actually, what I really like about the industry, this beauty industry, is that we're trying to really make everybody look, feel better, look better, and we inspire from each other a lot. So the things that I and Claire just mentioned a little is we're basically trying to solve the same issues, which is it all started with the perfect offline experience, and then now the online experience has to catch this offline standard, and then together we need to really transform our customers and our businesses into a very smooth and flawless omnichannel businesses. So what's next for us for the next year? So we've always been customer and experience obsessed. Our focus will be the customers in next year again, and how to empower them through beauty, help them to be the best version of themselves. We're working to better understand the changes, the needs in our customers' experience, and we really focus on the details, what they really want. Other than our main categories like the pillar brands, we have emerging subcategories like hair, nails, self-care, wellness, hygiene. We will explore and expand in these new opportunity areas because our ambition remains the same here. We offer the best and most amazing beauty selection to our community, and we continue to build on this. To drive the growth, innovation and creativity are the words for us, and we encourage ourselves to try new. That's why we work really hard to design an inspiring journey between online and offline and all the touch points actually. And our priority is to synchronize the e-commerce, the online experience with physical stores next year through social media, customer care, and all other customer-facing channels. We have to make it seamless for the customer to shift among them. This is our main challenge. Physical experience is at the center of Sephora experience. Our stores and the playful, amazing Sephora experience will remain to be at the core, but it has to be enriched with the online innovations as digital will continue to rise. This is what we believe and what we see. So looking at our to-do list, actually, to be very honest, in the short term, we have to work on the convenience part. Click and collect, WhatsApp and collect were some of the questions, I believe. They are about to be launched. We have been working on these solutions, and we really need to be very competitive and very agile and very comfortable in terms of providing options, delivery options, convenience options to our customers. So this is our #1 priority. And to bring the in-store feeling to the digital experience is another important area, like the virtual try-ons, the ability to use the AR technology to simulate what a particular cosmetic will look like on you, look like on the customer. So we have to really work very hard to find the right AR solutions. And those solutions needs to be very user-friendly, of course. Once they are accepted by the customers, then we can, invest on them and build on them. Data is another priority for us. We have to deep dive into data, track the behaviors, act on the personalized actions, because to increase the conversion, now we're trying to increase our base, of course, in online especially. We're trying to attract new customers, but the retention will be another important area for us. So that's why we have been investing in how to really understand the data better and to act on that data. So they deep dive into data and to work on the personalized actions to create better KPIs is another priority for us. App also is very important through all this journey, and Turkey being a very mobile and mobile connected country, like the rest of the world actually. So I believe it's very important to really keep the momentum and increase the standards in app. Not only the installing numbers or revenue, but app should become a real habit for all the beauty community for us, because we believe that's where the loyalty is, and loyalty to increase the loyal base, to increase the loyalty, is really that we will focus next year. And the fun part, I am trying to talk about the amazing Sephora experience whenever I find the opportunity. But the thing is that in online, with all these technological improvements and all the transformation we've been going through, it's really important to understand what's fun, how to increase the joy in all these digital eras. So like having more gamified actions, more gamified scenarios to increase the joy and to increase the engagements is again at top of our list. And last but not least, of course, we are so proud of our brand DNA and brand values in Sephora. And we have a very strong brand history based on trust, high quality, joy. I believe in this, starting from this year and moving forward, all the brands should be talking about their brand values and should be caring more about the purpose of the brand. Because to really keep the engagement with the customer is not only bringing the technology, the product and everything, but now the brands should have a purpose, and they have to really justify that purpose, and they have to justify what they are supporting, doing to, to feed that purpose. We believe in the power of unlimited beauty in each and every one of us. And as Sephora Turkey, we will continue to build our brand. Unfortunately, we're not as lucky as the French market because our awareness still needs to increase in Turkey. But on the other hand, we're benefiting to be a love brand. And Sephora being a love brand in beauty in all over the world, now it will act with the purpose of empowering all the women, but all the beauty community with strong actions. Like we will act on transparency, diversity, inclusion. As the leader of the beauty, we will support good and clean beauty, respectful to the environment, to the nature. And we believe beauty is reinventing itself nowadays, every day actually. And we are fully committed to drive this change with all the players, of course.
Actually, you kind of gave a lot of good insights and many things to do, actually. I have a question to Jim. Jim, as you might imagine, like we discussed about the omnichannel experience, and there are many things to be done. How can the companies, the brands implement this into their growth strategy? And I want to combine my question with a question coming from the audience. From the insider's point of view, how can your technology help in beauty industry to create the brand awareness?
Two great questions, Chadash. Let me talk a little bit about implementing the omnichannel experience or orchestration first, and then I'll talk specifically about beauty. And really, I think that this is the conversation that we're all having internally with our customers, our partners, and with the executives within all of our organizations. It's really the $1 million question. I say that figuratively, because when we figure it out, there's much more than $1 million of gain to be had by anyone who's able to truly connect and orchestrate the experience. Over the many years of my career, I've had thousands of conversations with brands, with marketers, with various levels within organizations. And these conversations have been everything from, simple email, automation to triggers, like cart abandonment to, journeys and customer centricity in omnichannel. Through all of those conversations, what I have learned is that how we execute or implement omnichannel is not necessarily the right question. We know how. We've talked about it. We've heard, at events when we could all go to events, or in speaking to our vendor partners on how to implement a true omnichannel experience in strategy. The challenge has just been doing it. It's been execution, and whether the impediment for a brand has been data and access to data, or budget, or prioritization. Aicha just talked about their Sephora initial priority being the in-person and human experience, and now they're translating to the digital. We have to make these decisions internally and organizationally around what we're going to do first, because time and budget and resource are still the biggest impediments to getting everything done that we want to get done. Marketers have never been short on brilliant ideas and ways to connect with customers. The challenge has been execution. So instead of talking about how to implement it, let's talk about, simply the conversation I like to have is how would we start doing it at a particular customer level? And the first thing I talk about is it's not a marketing thing. This isn't a marketer problem. This is really the entire business that needs to connect to the idea that omni-channel experience orchestration it touches every department and every person, no matter what your role is within the business, what seniority level that you have. I think the next step of the process is you need to be real about where you are today, not only at the channel level, but holistically in the execution of your strategy. Maybe you're great at one particular channel. I've seen some questions come through about WhatsApp. WhatsApp's a very new marketing channel that many brands are experimenting with. Maybe that's your big initiative in 2021, and that's fantastic. As a matter of fact, Ryan, one of our partners at Insider, Madeira in Brazil, has had phenomenal success using WhatsApp, not as just a customer service channel, but a conversion channel. Very recently through the Insider platform. It's fun to try these new channels, but you need to be holistically real about where you are today and just admit what works and what doesn't, because that's what creates your prioritization matrix and where you're going to focus next. If we don't have the data, and this is the third point in doing it, in the right place and structured and accessible, then that has to be the first real foundational step within a brand. Is get the data, make it accessible, bring real time to the reality within your consumer experience, and it becomes a lot easier to execute in an orchestrated manner across all digital touch points that you have with your customers. And the last thing I would say is, after all of those, just do it. Just start to take action. I've had so many conversations with individuals where they want to get the strategy perfect. And the reality is it's never going to be perfect, because we as human are imperfect, and we're changing how we're engaging with brands constantly. So once you have it figured out, it's going to change again. So you just have to get in and start doing things, measure, change, re-implement or re-execute, and then if you really want to start to have fun, start to looking at all of those performance KPIs at a cohort level, because now your strategy needs to change again. So doing it is obviously very different than how to implement it, but there are some keys there that I think really touch both areas. Chadash, through all of that, I forgot your second question. Can you remind me, please, sir?
Actually, how can the brands use Insider platform for brand awareness? This is a question from the audience. And maybe at this point, Jim, I want to add one more question. Do you see WhatsApp using targeted ads eventually, since you mentioned about the WhatsApp?
That's a good question. We've talked about WhatsApp as a channel quite a bit recently internally. And one of the big things that we are anticipating, and there's been some public writing about this as well, is that Facebook is going to combine their various messaging channels sometimes in 2021, because they're currently operating with 3, and they have different penetrations in various markets throughout the world. So I think that WhatsApp is going to be a more prominent channel for marketing, and that could certainly incorporate ad. It's the revenue stream for Facebook in this case. So it makes sense that they would connect it at some point. From an insider perspective on brand awareness, there's so many ways that we can take this around, whether that's helping to improve return on ad spend through more targeted segmentation, all the way through product discovery on the website, which is a function of session times and page views, and making that experience a more connected and inclusive experience. We have many creative customers that help to drive our product innovation and our product roadmap. And one very fun product innovation that is now generally available to everyone is creating an in-story or an Instagram type experience through all of your mobile channels, whether your web or mobile web or even your app. These stories are ways to draw in our customers and to allow them to experience the brand in a curated way. And those stories can be driven and influenced from a prioritization perspective by all of the behavior or attribute data that you have aggregated at a consumer level, whether it's an anonymous consumer or a known consumer. So lots of ways that we can influence brand awareness or product discovery that ultimately are very top level KPIs that influence performance through digital channels.
Since Jim, you mentioned kind of, just do it as a message. Ryan, let's assume that I have a kind of a cosmetic brand and I want to start implementing the augmented reality shopping solutions. What should be like the initial step? And again, a question to you. Can we use AR technologies of PulpoAR to kind of create brand awareness?
Yes, definitely. I think James said it all. Just do it. So I think that companies who waits until the technology is perfect might lose the timing for that. So we have a big customer here in Brazil, which is Boticário, and it's one of the largest brands for makeup in the world. And they're using augmented shopping for 2 years already. And what they see is, okay, the technology is not perfect. We have trouble with the lightings or with the places, like Claire mentioned, the woman goes to the store, the lights has one effect. And when the woman is in outdoors, the light has another effect. When the woman is in the bathroom, the light has another effect. So even though we still have these problems, which we are addressing, so you will see in the future that we have some devices where you can adjust the lights when the user is experienced to the light where the environment that you want to simulate, outdoors lighting or the bathroom lights, the work lights or a nightclub light. So you can simulate the lights and have a better experience in that. But even though the technology is still not perfect, the users are liking it very much. And Boticário, they told us that the users are using the real-time try-on very much, and they are engaging in that. And another case that Claire reminds me is when the woman goes to the store and wants to try on the makeup, and she's wearing the makeup and she has to go back to the office later. And so this technology is allowing the woman to try new combinations of makeup or many combinations of makeup on top of the makeup she's wearing. And imagine the journey today. We are talking about the customer experience. Imagine the journey. The woman goes to the store, wants to try 3 colors of lipsticks together with three different colors of eyeshadow. She has to put on the makeup, remove, put another one. So it takes a lot of time. The experience is not good. Okay, so going back to the how companies can implement, accept that technology is at its baby steps. It's at the beginning, but it's acceptable already. So it starts using that. So the first step is make this acknowledgement. It starts small. So instead of trying to take all your SKUs and digitalize all of them, you start with the best ones you have, with the top sellers you have. And the third step is educate your customers about this new feature. So let them know you have this feature. Make some advertising. We had customers in the past that unfortunately did not have success using this tool because they implemented the tool, but they did not let the consumer know that they had this tool. So no one was using it. So like Jim said, just do it. Accept the technology is it's not perfect. It will improve a lot in the future. A lot. I mean, the light quality, we are working in some algorithm to mitigate the problem we have with the devices that the users have. Because if a user is using a iPhone 12, for instance, and someone is using a late mobile device, the experience might be different. But we are addressing these problems and we'll get imperfection really soon. But what we have today is already working and the users, they like it. And it helps the companies a lot. Again, Clary was mentioning about the samplers. We have discussions with the brands, and samplers is a big pain they have because it costs money and it costs time. So when they launch a new product, they have the focus on launching the product, and sometimes they forget about the sample. It's not that they forget, but they have the priority to the product. But at the end, they have to hurry and spend more money to get the samplers done. And that the augmented shopping can solve some of these problems. So helping to reduce the return costs and the cost with samplers and increasing the experience with the consumer. But yeah, just for the companies, start small, start doing it, and educate the consumers about this new technology and future that you have.
Ryan, we have a question from one of our guests, and he wants to ask you, he made a beauty video showing a 3 lipstick combo. And how are we going to use the AR to layer the makeup?
Sorry, let me try if I didn't get the questions perfectly. Let me read it.
Let me just read it one more time. Actually, Atajan says he made a beauty video and he's showing a 3 lipstick combo. So is there a way to use the AR to layer the makeup? Maybe not showing, as I understand, one product, but 3 different products as kind of, layers over each other.
Yes, definitely. So we can allow the consumer to try only one lipstick color, for instance, or we can make a combination of what we call it's a look. The woman can try a foundation on top. They may put a highlight, a eyeshadow, lipstick all together. And by doing that, layering the makeup, we can provide new ways for the woman to try on, or we can connect them, a new experience. We can connect the woman. Let's say one thing that we are going to see in the future is smart screens, like smart TV, for instance. Today, they don't have a camera, but they might have a camera in the future. And maybe you see a movie, you're watching the movie and you see an actress has a makeup combination. You want to see this makeup. And then you can see the same look that the woman is using on yourself in this smart screen. And this is all done by layering the makeup.
As Ryan mentioned, starting small and testing, as also Jim elaborated, is important. Since we have Ayça and Claire, 2 industry experts, I want to ask both of them a question. In your opinion, do you have like kind of specific forecast about the beauty industry, not only for 2021, but let's say for the coming years?
Oh, for Ayça and me?
Yes, for both of you.
I have no forecast, but I can see regarding what we all said during this webinar, I can see what is now important to work on 2021 and years after. And the keywords for me are, the first is safe. So to reinvent in store a safe experience with product, it became so important to respect clean things, and in this way e-commerce have a very big part to play. It's so safe to order behind your computer. Omnichannel, we discuss a lot about this. Personally, I'm a customer in retail. I'm also doing sometimes click and collect. I'm sometimes shop with Instagram, and sometimes on the app, and sometimes on my computer, because it's more convenient for me at this time. So there is no customer on a channel or another. There is multi-channel customer, which is convenient at this time for this customer, but it's the same customer all the time. Data is still the key, a big key, and a very big cost could be behind the data, because you can have so much data, but don't use them or not use them properly, or don't know exactly what you want them to say. So my main subject is the super personalization. I mean, I would like my computer, Instagram, going on Sephora website and just have a look on the brand I love, the brand I like, the brand that are for me, a middle-aged woman, and not offering something for 2 age people or 2 young people. So I would like to have a super personalized homepage just for me, which would be different from the one of my neighbor and my mother and my cousin and every. So to be able to do this, you need data, and you need to make them very intelligent, which is not the case today. I have noticed And then, oh yes, I have noticed something about the brands because I can see then there is more and more big groups in brand. I mean, they are became bigger and bigger. And on the other side, you also have a lot of small brands which are launching on which are niche brands. They don't want to offer product to a large part of customer. They just want to offer specific niche product to a small amount of people, but they want to do this quite well with perhaps 3 or 4 stores with click and collect, but most of the time an e-commerce business activity, and then being a small brand and a human brand and talk directly to customer with human language. So there is in a way big, incredible big groups with a lot of brands which became, even if they are trying to, but not really human. And in the other part, a lot of small brands that they don't want to become big and big. They want to do some located business, to respect the environment, to not and have clean product, and they don't want to become bigger brand than in the world. So it is something we can see, absolutely two different business strategy. And then as a conclusion, I would say, like Jim, when you say just do it, I mean, and to meet Asha when she said, okay, just have fun. I just want to remind us all that we are selling beauty products. So it's not the end of the world. It's just beauty product to make beautiful people. It's fun. I'm not saving lives each day when I wake up. I just have to sell beauty products. So it's just fun. And if we have to do something, we can do it. And if it's a mistake, okay, we will fix it. But if I will be a doctor and if I have to save the life of somebody, yes, I don't have to make any mistake. But in this way, we just can try and improve if it's not perfect, but just do it.
Ayça, what do you think about the way the beauty industry is going?
Well, I'm first of all fully agree with Claire's comments. Actually, we have to do it, learn it, improve it. This has to be the way, and enjoy it while we're doing it. The cosmetic industry was booming before, and since many years, as Shadash you mentioned when you first opened the webinar. And of course, we have been shocked by the COVID at the first months, especially. It was hard. But however, beauty industry once again shown the resilience during the pandemic. So we see some good signs that people really adapt fast, businesses really adapt fast than many other industries. I believe to build on top what Claire said, inclusivity and variety is now the norm. Inclusivity matters because like all the consumers should see themselves represented and valued equally, and it makes good business sense. And we have to target other segments as well. It's not about the women only. Men are in the radar, and more options for men's personal care products are emerging. We see some really exciting trends. Skincare booming, do-it-yourself trend is booming. So we have really good areas to build our businesses on. Of course, technology is important. What I believe, like physical will remain to support or to lead the human interaction, where online has to be very smart, has to move with very smart and sophisticated actions. And For me, actually, that's why the growth lies on the e-commerce side. They have to complement each other, but online will continue to rise, and we need to, act very fast and agile. We have to work on the promo structures, strategies to adapt this new era. We have to overcome the lower traffic in offline, but also to attract and delight the customers in online. We have to act more segmented. We have to have more hyper personalized and hyper customized and dynamic offers to customers. Of course, we will need companies that support us, like Insider, to create really the personalized experience that we need to provide to our customers. Agility, speed is going to be very much essential on the online side, because we will see lots of shifts in demand. But again, our main concern should be how to keep the customers connected with the brands, with the products, with the experience. And I believe, working with all those innovations we're now working, we will definitely improve this experience, improve the business, and keep having fun, keep enjoying with beauty.
Thank you very much. You provided a lot of good insights. We have some audience questions. Actually, there's a question. I need to address it to Ryan and Jim, but guys, if you don't mind, I want to just share my point of view on that question as well. So the question is around if PulpoAR and Insider, they come together, PulpoAR providing the augmented reality solution, while Insider providing the one-to-one personalization and product recommendation. Can there be a joint product for skin details, or maybe for makeup suggestion too? I want to just share my opinion in this case, because I want to give a real use case from Canada. We have a client who started using the virtual try-on products. It's a cosmetic brand. And with the virtual try-on, they started seeing a huge increase in their e-commerce sales, because they kind of grew their Instagram follower base, which eventually turned into new customers for them. And as you might imagine, that kind of brings another challenge. How can we just manage this growth on the e-commerce platform in the best way, offer personalization, and kind of maybe even gather user feedbacks? And then we implemented an Insider solution. So in a way, PulpoAR and Insider can be used together. But still, Jim and Ryan, in your opinion, in the coming days, do you think there can be a joint product on that aspect?
Oh, Ryan, in the coming days was the specific answer. So I think we need a solution by Monday. What do you think?
Actually, it should be yesterday, in my opinion, not Monday.
All right, Jadash. I'll recalibrate my expectations. I certainly think it's interesting, and I'd love to explore it. I'm not personally on the product side, but I'm happy to begin the conversation. And listen, our job ultimately as vendors is to create solutions that our customers, our partners need and can then deliver to their customers. So we're part of the value chain. If there's value, especially if there's value that can be applied not just in the beauty or cosmetics industry, which is certainly interesting and exciting. We have many phenomenal customers in that space at Insider. But if we can then take that same use case and apply it to other industries or other verticals, and it certainly, we could stay on the call and come up with many different use cases where AR and product discovery or product recommendation capability makes sense together. Then yes, it's worth exploring. Ryan, what do you say?
I would say the same. I think that eventually we are going to be facing each other together. When we are using AR, we are not only providing the experience to the consumer, but we can also be collecting data from the consumer, like it's a woman, it's a man, what age, and all this kind of personal data, of course, respecting all the general data protection laws and all these kind of things. But we can use that and feed to a more wide system where use this data to provide a more personalized experience to everyone. So I definitely think that we are bumping each other in the near future.
Yeah, I certainly agree. And any of that data or any data that any one of Insider's partners collects offline, online, in-store, whatever, wherever it comes from, is ingestible into Insider to be used for segmentation and personalization. So we can likely execute on something yesterday, Chadash, to meet your timeline.
And maybe at this point, I have one question to Ryan from the audience. As kind of a reference to the L'Oreal's virtual try-on solution that works on digital, do you believe AR can be used to collect feedbacks before launching a new product?
Yes, I think so. I think we can. You can first launch a let's call it a digital product, and you can test and try it digitally before launching the real one. That's for sure. It's one of the applications we might see in the future. We have, for instance, some customers that they asked us to develop virtual and specific online makeup for the Zoom or other video streaming platforms. So it's not makeup that is available in the market, but the users, they could use it only online. But so I think that in the future it's possible, definitely.
In just kind of a parallel to this question, we have a question from the audience for Claire. Claire, what is like your plans for creating brand awareness for Feel Unique in the French market?
I can't answer this question in the minute, I'm sorry. But it's absolutely reinvented all the time. And we are only December 2020, so I have full time to work on this question for 2021. As you know, things are changing so fast. So I can't answer now, I'm sorry.
And we have a question to actually all our panelists. Have you ever experimented with 3D Blender software to showcase beauty products?
Not yet, heard of it, but not yet.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm not good to answer questions today.
That's a cutting edge question from someone in our webinar.
And actually, I have one question that we haven't discussed with our panelists, so it's kind of a surprise question for them. I know we discussed about the business a lot, but we kind of are going through these challenging times, and we are kind of limited working under quarantine conditions. Did you miss like anything in your life? Like, oh, if everything goes back to normal, this is the first thing that I want to do in my life. Is there such a thing? Like, can you share maybe one personal insight about that?
Have a party full of people.
Yeah.
Same.
I'm
down
really
in the
waiting for the
streets.
vaccine.
Go down in the street, in a bar and a restaurant with my friends and family.
I'm a
And
Brazilian.
drink,
I want
and
to
drink
hug.
white wine, French wine, of course.
And I
I'm a
think
Brazilian. I want
especially
to
as the
hug
weather
people.
is changing in Indiana, my wife every night as we're getting the kids to sleep is talking about, can we get back to the beach sometime soon? So travel.
Yeah.
Definitely travel is like the most fun part, hopefully when everything goes to normal. But I have kind of a special note. Firstly, I want to thank all of you guys because you provided really good insights and great insights actually, and gave a lot of strategies for the companies to implement. And also I have kind of a personal thank because I'm from the Obsense digital point of view, I am happy and privileged to be acting as the partner for both of these companies, PulpoAR and Insider. And kind of a New Year resolution from our end is to offer these, solutions to the Canadian businesses and help them with their growth and hopefully, have more and more use cases. And as kind of an info for our guests, we will have similar sessions in the new year as well. So please stay tuned and connect us on LinkedIn and follow us. I really want to thank you guys. Do you have any final remarks before we end this webinar?
Thank you.
Yeah, agreed. It was a pleasure to meet everyone and enjoyed the conversation today.
Thank you so much. I'm happy to meet you too.
Thank you very much,
Sorry,
guys.
Ryan.
Thank you, everyone.
And wishing you happy holidays, happy New Year in advance. Thank you very much, guys. Have a great day.
Thank
you.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.